It is time to start working on the annotated bibliography. You might be thinking, what am I supposed to be doing? To fully understand this assignment, you will first have to understand the quantitative literacy QL essay assignment. Now let me bring that prompt up. For the QL essay, you are writing a researched paper that is supported with data coming from reputable sources. You will examine and use data in rhetorical contexts. You will use statistics to support your claim. For the QL essay, you have the freedom to choose a topic of your liking. However, you are not allowed to write about drugs, legalizing a younger drinking age, marijuana, medicinal or otherwise, music in any form, abortion, adoption, death penalty, and gay marriage. These are common topics every freshman chooses to write about. Think out of the box. Come up with a unique topic. While making a choice, consider if the topic you are leaning towards can be supported with numeric data. Is there enough scholarly research available to support your argument? Once you have a topic, you will start the research.
For the QA essay, you are required to use 5 sources.
At least 2 of these sources should share statistical data sets. All your sources should come from academic databases, not general internet sources. You are not allowed to use print sources. Reason being, I want to access the sources you use in your paper. When you use printed sources, accessing these sources becomes difficult in an online environment. Details about conducting research and writing a quantitative analysis paper have been discussed in the lecture notes and videos posted on Blackboard. I will not be going into details about those concepts in this video. Now that you have some understanding of the QL essay, let's focus on the annotated bibliography. A bibliography is a list of sources, articles, journals, websites, etc. you use for researching your topic. And an annotation is a summary and/or evaluation of those sources. An annotated bibliography generally includes a summary of the source, followed by an evaluation and completed by a reflection paragraph discussing how each source will fit into your work. In all, you have to annotate 5 sources for this assignment, and as the QL essay assignment requires, 2 of these sources should share numeric data sets. Once you have your sources, a thorough analysis of these sources will help you understand what they are about and how they will help you develop your argument. Each annotation will have 4 parts. First, cite the source in MLA format. Then summarize the source in your own words. This should be done in a separate paragraph. When summarizing, answering the following questions will help. What is the main argument? If someone asked you what this article or book is about, what would you say? Next, in a new paragraph, you will assess the source. To assess, you will check, is the source reliable? Is the author an expert in the field? Does the source show unbiased, or is it a well-rounded source? Does the source consider opposing viewpoints? How does the source respond to the opposition? Is it a useful source? How does it compare with other sources in your bibliography? What is the goal of this source? You do not have to answer all these questions, but these questions will help you get started. In the last paragraph, you will reflect on the source. How is this source helpful to your topic? How will this source assist in shaping your paper? How can you use this source for your research project? Has it changed how you think about your topic? For more information on how to write an annotated bibliography, read the lecture notes, videos, and the example assignment posted on Blackboard. Your bibliography should be in MLA format. Let us look at how the format will look like by checking the sample assignment. The first thing we notice here is the title block and the running header. The title block will provide the information in the same way it has been shown here. Your name, professor's name, course and section, followed by date. The date should be written in the same format as shown here. The running header should start from the first page itself and go all the way to the final page. The running header should include only your last name and page number. Double space the title block and the citation, but single space the summary, assess, and reflection paragraphs. Double space within paragraphs. Use Times New Roman font size 12. So just like shown over here, double space citation followed by summary paragraph. If single spaced, double space between paragraphs, then again single space within the paragraph, and so on. Provide detailed answers, about 150 words for each category. However, the reflection section can be about 70 to 100 words. Each category should be addressed in separate paragraphs. All text, including the paragraphs under the citation, should be indented. Only the author's last name or the title of the article that you begin your citation with should be flushed all the way to the left. Following MLA guidelines, sources should be listed in alphabetic order. As far as the type of sources is concerned, all your sources should come from scholarly databases. Do not use print sources. I already explained why. Use full text, not abstracts. Failure to follow these instructions will result in an F for the assignment grade. Provide the exact and complete URL for all the sources you use. Failure to do so will result in negative 10 points.
Throughout this video, I have used the term quantitative literacy or QL assignment instead of quantitative analysis or QA assignment. I have used the two terms interchangeably. Do not get confused between the two terms.